Travel back in time with a trip inside the Iowa's News Now vault.
Iowans are used to seeing men in bib overalls, suits, and jeans. But dresses? Well, Jim actually prefers them. He's a transvestite.
It's just part of nature. That's what you feel. There's a woman inside, and she kind of wants to come out.
Dr. Arthur Cantor calls people like Jim gender dysphoric.
They're unhappy with their own gender role, and they want to be a woman or be in the role of a woman. And there's all kinds of reasons why that may take place. It doesn't have to be because they are homosexual at all. There are many heterosexuals among this group.
Is it biological or psychological?
We don't really know. There are a lot of biological manifestations, perhaps, but the research has never been clear on this sort of thing. So what it is, I don't know.
I had 30 shots taken. So
Jim has been leading a double life since he was 13 and asked me not to use his last name. His colleagues know he graduated with an electrical engineering degree from Illinois, completed an MBA from Iowa in December, and now works for a major manufacturing company. But they don't know Stephanie.
Is there a difference between Jim's personality and Stephanie's personality?
Oh yes, there's a big difference. Jim is a pretty hard-nosed engineer and businessman, and that's the way he acts. Stephanie's much softer, easier to get along with, and will accept a lot more than Jim will.
Who do you like better?
Stephanie, without a doubt.
Do you dress like a woman half the time, most of the time?
Well, I'd say about 4 or 5 times a week, plus every day I do some of it, because I do wear like nightgown to bed and around the house.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
His obsession with women's clothing contributed to pulling his 27-year marriage apart.
She didn't know about it until after we were married sometime. Later, it was never really fully accepted, but it was tolerated.
However, Jim says his 3 children accept his other side. His grandchildren don't know. Eventually, he'd like to marry again. But next time, he says, he'll tell his bride-to-be about the other woman first. Every Wednesday night, they perform at a local gay club, which asked not to be identified.
I've been trying to tell you all night, that girl, she's a guy.
Why do men do female impersonation?
To me, it's an art form. I've always wanted to be an actor. And if you look at me, I am an actor. When I'm on stage, I give you the illusion of being a woman, being very beautiful. But at the same time, most people know that I'm a man.
It's fun. Well, I always wanted to be like a famous actor when I grew up, so it's my little night to be the actress Rachel and then put it all away and be Doug for the next 6 days of the week.
Rachel is known as the Diva, or Queen of Drag in Cedar Rapids, mainly because she brought it back to life 3 years ago. As a club manager, she invites people like Desiree Matthews and Amber Michaels to stage for a chance to be recognized and make it big.
Some of the people that work at the famous Baton Club in Chicago make upwards of $1,500, $2,000 a week, and those aren't the higher ups.
At this Cedar Rapids club, they work for tips only and can make up to $80 on a good night.
Usually, at least during one show, 1 or 2 of the impersonators will donate all the tips that they make to the local Rapids AIDS project.
If you think it's time-consuming for women preparing for the everyday, imagine what it's like preparing to entertain as a female impersonator.
You know, it costs a lot to look like this cheap.
How much would you say you spend on clothes a year?
Too much. I've had my whole face redone. Silicone. From like my neck up. I've had my cheeks, I've had my chin, I've had my lips done twice, I've had my forehead done 3 times, and it just like makes your whole face different.
Preparing for a show can take up to 2 hours. Tons of makeup, 6 inches of foam on the hips, and a little duct tape to hide the flaws. And there you have it. Are Mom and Dad proud?
My whole family knows and they love it.
It was kind of funny because my uncles and my dad were kind of whistling and stuff, but they didn't have any idea. And then they saw me, and then I went up to them and was talking to them, and they were like, oh my God, you know.
These men say they never want to become women, but they do enjoy acting the part.
Rachel's a lot more flamboyant and maybe has a few more cocktails than Doug.
Oh yeah, Rachel's more vibrant. more adventurous.
As Brad, I'm pretty shy and low-key, whereas Desiree is more outgoing, like 300% more.
When I'm John, I'm John. I like to be very masculine in myself and go out and have fun. Amber, on a scale from 1 to 10, is a 25.
While these female impersonators allowed us to reveal their male side, remember, the next time you're in a club where illusion is created, looks can be deceiving. Brenda Good, Channel 2 News, Cedar Rapids.
Well, by hopefully this summer or fall, I hope to get breast implants and find a way to remove that one thing manly about me, and that's facial hair. I hate facial hair.
That's not all 24-year-old John Kettleson wants to change. He wants a complete change.
I want to become a woman because I don't classify myself as being gay.
Dr. Arthur Cantor would call John a transsexual.
This problem has existed for centuries in terms of gender dysphoria and trying to be in the role of a person of the other gender. It's just that only until recent times it's become possible through surgical and chemical treatment, hormonal intervention, to actually transform the individual.
John has taken some hormones and is currently seeking counseling. He works as John during the day, chauffeuring his landlord to work. But at night, he's Annie Davis, the 6'2" female impersonator.
Do you consider yourself male or female?
Well, ever since I've been a little kid, everything I've done, I've been very feminine about. I didn't like to get dirty all the time, and Christmas and stuff like that, and they gave me trucks and blocks and the masculine stuff, and I'd trade with my grandma and my mom and take their apron and their broom, and I'd clean house and run around and run little restaurants. And
when he was growing up, you weren't surprised that he wanted to become female?
No.
Is it going to be strange having 2 daughters instead of a son and a daughter?
yeah. So she says, well, I have 4 children, 3 boys and a girl. My oldest son, she says it's going to be hard because she's so used to saying her oldest son, John. She's going to switch and say my oldest daughter, Annie.
When he's John, he seems to get in bad moods a lot. But when he's Annie, he's just out, ready to go party, and I'd rather have him Annie, but...
You normally don't see drag queens in straight clubs in eastern Iowa, but this night Annie lights up the stage and turns some heads in Cedar Falls at Club Shag Nasties.
You better work.
People have always liked the bizarre, the unexpected, and we're famous for that.
I was really surprised because I really thought she was a woman, and it really surprised me to find out that she wasn't.
People are going, that's a woman. I'm going, no, I'm pretty sure it's a man.
I've seen, I don't know how to say it, him, her, I don't know, out on the dance floor earlier, and people are dancing with whatever.
Are you surprised to find out that she's from Evansdale?
Yeah.
This was the first time a female impersonator has ever danced on stage here. But after the reaction from this performance, bar owner Darren Beck says it won't be the last. As for John, he'll continue to perform as a female impersonator until he can afford to change his life. Brenda Good, Channel 2 News, Evansdale.